I couldn't tell you what day it was. Might have been a Tuesday, might have been the ass end of forever. Out there in Apache country, the sun just keeps coming up and going down, and the calendar burns with everything else you used to own. Days don't bother with names anymore. They just spill one into the next, slow and red, like whiskey poured into creek water. But I remember her eyes. Dark as sin, staring up at me from that bear trap with enough hate in them to burn down Missouri. She had a knife clenched in her fist, blood soaking the sand around her leg, and she was deciding whether to kill me or herself first. Hell, she was sharp. Most folks would have been bawling, begging. She just watched me like I was the Reaper himself riding in on horseback. And maybe that day, I was. I'd killed Apache before, 4 near Fort Bowie during the war, wore a Union Scout uniform, and did things I don't talk about anymore. So when I knelt beside her and reached for that trap, I figured she'd put that knife straight through my throat. She didn't. That's when I should have known, should have seen what was coming. But a man who's been dead inside for 4 years doesn't recognize danger when it's bleeding out in front of him. I never figured saving a life would turn around and take mine. But it did. The buck I'd been tracking led me to her. Funny how things work. I was following blood through the rocks, thinking about dinner when I heard breathing. Wrong kind of breathing. The kind that comes when pain's been chewing on you for hours and you're too stubborn to quit. She was sprawled between 2 red boulders, one leg bent wrong where the steel teeth had her. Chain bolted to a rock half the size of a horse. This wasn't for coyotes. This was for people. I'd seen traps like it before. Genízaros used them. Mexican slavers with Indian blood, stealing Apache women and children, selling them south. Domestic slaves, they said. We both knew better. She hissed something in Apache when I stepped closer. Warning. Her knife hand shook, but her eyes were steady. I'd seen men face firing squads with less composure. I knew just enough Apache to catch one word. Inda. White man. Easy, I told her, hands out. I'm not here to hurt you. She answered with something that probably meant go to hell or I'll gut you. But her body was failing. Blood loss and rot were doing what the trap couldn't. The jaws were stiff, crusted with old blood, not hers, someone else's. While I worked the mechanism, I thought about riding away, thought how much easier my life would be if I left her there. Then I thought about my daughter, Sarah, 7 years old when the plague took her. Same age this woman might have had a child, if the world had been kinder. My hands kept moving. When the trap opened, she gasped, first real sound she'd made. I tied off her leg, tight. Bleeding slowed, not enough. She needed water, shelter, time. 3 things this land doesn't give freely. Can you ride? I asked. She looked at me like I was stupid. Probably was. But she let me lift her onto my horse. That told me something. She was practical. We rode toward a spring I knew. Her weight against my chest, blood soaking my shirt. Behind us I saw fresh tracks. 4 horses. The men who set the trap were close. I pushed harder. The cave wasn't much. Just an overhang with water seeping through stone and one entrance I could watch. Her leg was worse than I thought, crushed to bone. By the second day, fever took her. I heated my knife and cut to drain the poison. She bit leather, eyes locked on mine, never made a sound. When it was done, she passed out. That night she talked in her sleep, one name again and again, pleading, then fury, then silence like someone ripped the sound out of her. I sat there with my rifle and wondered what the hell I was doing. Wondered if the men who set that trap were worth killing over. Wondered if she'd thank me or curse me when she woke. Third morning I saw dust. 4 riders, slow and careful. One had glasses catching the sun. They meant business. I loaded my rifle and waited. That's when she spoke behind me. English, calm. Why did you save me? I didn't turn. Seemed like the thing to do. They'll kill you for this. Maybe. Then she said it. You've killed Apache before. Wasn't a question. I don't know how she knew. Maybe men who hunt men carry a different. Yes, I said. Fort Bowie. 4 for certain. More maybe. Silence. Then she said, "I've killed white men too. Soldiers who shot my husband, 3 before they rode off." I turned and looked at her proper for the first time. Fever thin, eyes sharp. There was something there I recognized. 2 people admitting what they'd done and living with it. "What's your name?" "Kiona." "What do they call you?" "Different things, mostly not friendly." I believe that. We watched the riders pass us by. By evening they were gone, but we knew they'd return. They did at dawn, no warning, just appeared out of the gray. 12 Apache warriors. I stepped out with my hands up. Fighting would have killed us both. The old man leading them moved like water. When he saw Kiona, relief crossed his face, then anger. They spoke fast in Apache. My life decided in words I barely understood. Then he turned to me. "You touched my daughter. I treated her wounds. You saved her life. Most men would not. By our law, you have responsibility now. You are married." The words hit hard. He said it plain. I already was. Kiona was a widow, a healer, couldn't be left unprotected. If I refused, I'd dishonor her. She'd be lost to her people. I looked at her. She wasn't pleading, just waiting. "What do you want?" I asked. She said it didn't matter. It mattered to me. That surprised her. Finally, she said, if I stayed, I'd help protect her people. Or I could leave. Stay safe. Safe. 4 years of graves and running. I couldn't. "I'll stay," I said. "Not for your law, because I owe her." The rancheria was small, scattered, ready to vanish if soldiers came. Practical. They put me in her family's shelter, separated by hide. Close enough to hear her breathe. Men watched me careful. Women watched me curious. Someone asked if I could cook, learn to move quiet, learn plants that heal and ones that kill, learn silence. And I learned her. The way she moved, the way she looked at me like a knot she hadn't decided to untie. One night making tortillas, her hands guided mine. Strong, calloused. We both felt it. Later I woke to her watching me. "Do you want to leave?" "Leave where?" I told her I didn't have people anymore. She said I talked in my sleep. Asked if I loved my wife. Yes. Not enough to save her. She told me her husband died in her arms. For 2 years she wanted to follow him. Then the trap showed her she wanted to live. "Maybe we're both learning," she said. Neither of us slept. They came for the children at dawn. Took them fast. Left a message. "Return the widow or they get sold." The warriors wanted blood. Kiona stood. "I'll go." I said no. "Use me. I'm worth more. Give me a day." She grabbed me, told me to come back, kissed my forehead hard. I walked into their camp alone, traded words, traded lies, gave the signal. Chaos followed. Apache fought like a storm. When it ended, the children were free. I was bleeding. Kiona was there, hands shaking. "Don't die on me." Not planning on it. Weeks later at dawn, we stood together, bound by leather. Not redemption, not forgiveness. Just 2 stubborn people refusing to finish dying. Now, when night comes, I don't dream of graves. This land will come for us again. But I've got something worth fighting for. Not glory, not country, just the woman sleeping beside me. That's the whole damn thing. She wasn't pleading, she was waiting. "What do you want?" I asked. She said it didn't matter. It mattered to her. That surprised her. If I stayed, I'd help protect her people. Or I could leave, stay safe. Safe. 4 years of graves and running, and I couldn't. "I'll stay," I said, "not because of your law, because I owe her." The rancheria wasn't what I expected. No big teepees, no war camps, just small wickiups scattered across a protected valley. Easy to move, easy to abandon if soldiers came. Practical. They put me in Kiona's family wickiup, not with her exactly, separated by a deerskin partition. Close enough to hear her breathe at night, close enough to lie awake, wondering what the hell I'd gotten myself into. The men kept their distance. Can't blame them. I'd worn Union blue, carried a rifle against their people. But the older women watched with curiosity. One of them asked Kiona something that made her laugh. First time I'd heard that sound. She wants to know if you can cook. Kiona translated. Some coffee and beans mostly. Apache men help their wives cook. You'll need to learn. That first week was an education. I learned to move quietly through the wiki-ups so support poles wouldn't creak. Learned which plants Kiona gathered for medicine and which would kill you if touched wrong. Learned that Apache don't waste words when silence works better. Little by little, I learned the way she moved. Sometimes she'd brush past me and stop half a breath longer than she needed. Her hands on the grinding stone were quick, sure, beautiful without trying. And every now and then across the fire, she'd look at me like I was a knot she hadn't decided to untie yet. 10 days in, we were making tortillas. She guided my hands, pressing mine into the right motion. Fingers calloused, strong. When they touched my skin, we both felt it. She pulled back, went to her side. That night, I woke to find her watching me from her sleeping mat. Fire burned down to coals. Eyes met mine across the small space. Something passed between us, not words, recognition. She spoke first, voice low in the dark. Do you want to leave? Leave where? Here? This life? She gestured at the wiki-up walls. Go back to your people? I thought about towns, laws, churches, women in dresses. I had no people anymore, lost them a long time ago. She asked if I loved my wife. Yes, not enough to save her. Sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes you're not there when it matters. I stared at dying fire. She told me her husband died in her arms. Soldiers shot him during a raid. She held him while he bled, watched the light go out. For 2 years she wanted to follow him. Then those men put her in the trap, and she realized she wanted to live, but forgot how. I looked at her across the darkness. Maybe we're both learning. 2 people who forgot what it felt like to be alive, stupid enough to try again. Then the slavers came for the children. 3 women, 2 little ones, down at the spring, just after dawn. Took them fast. Left a message scratched on a flat rock. Return the widow or they get sold. Younger warriors wanted blood immediately. Nakatats counseled patience. They had Winchesters, fast horses. Direct assault would cost lives. Kiona stood up. This is because of me. I'll go. Every head turned. I spoke before thinking. No, we'll trade, but not with you. Nakatats frowned. What do you mean? Use me instead. I'm white. They could sell me. Give me a day. 1 day to get them back. If I fail, you do it your way. Her grip tightened. For a moment, I thought she might hit me. Then she pulled me close, whispered fierce in my ear. Come back, you hear me? You don't get to save me just to die like a fool. Wasn't planning on it. She kissed my forehead hard, desperate, then let me go. I walked into their camp alone, hands up, unarmed. They weren't expecting someone to surrender. The leader was a mestizo, scar across his throat, stolen cavalry jacket. He looked at me like I was a gift from God. You're the one, he said in Spanish-accented English. The white man protecting the Apache Puda. I didn't answer, just stood while he circled me. Why come alone? Trade, me for them? He laughed. You're worth more than 1 woman and 3 kids to a mine boss. Yeah, I know. Surveying, metalwork, breaking horses. You'll get 500 for me in Chihuahua, more than for starved Apache children. He considered greed. Same as always. Okay, we make trade, but keep 1 child as insurance. No, all of them, then no deal. Behind him, shadows in the rocks, Apache warriors waiting for my signal. I dropped flat, rolled left, chaos, rifles firing, men screaming, grabbed a pistol from dirt, came up shooting. The mestizo with the scar dropped, then another, then I lost count. Apache fought different than soldiers. No formations, no orders, just coordinated violence executed with perfect timing. 2 minutes, done. 14 Henizeros dead, 3 captured. On our side, 2 warriors killed, 5 wounded, me with a knife wound in my gut. Kiona was there suddenly, hands on me, eyes wide. You fool, you absolute fool. Got them back and yourself killed doing it. Not dead yet. She dragged me to shade, started working on the wound, hands shaking. First time I'd seen her scared. Whispered, "Don't even think about dying on me."
"Wasn't planning on it," I said, smiled despite the pain. "You're stuck with me."
6 weeks later, dawn ceremony. Nakitats stood in the circle, sage smoke curling around his hands. Painted face, medicine man regalia. This wasn't a marriage, it was a covenant. Kiona beside me, leg mostly healed, scar visible. Looked like everything I'd lost and everything I'd found all at once. The old man spoke in Apache, then English. 2 people, different blood, same path. Bound our wrists with leather cord. What the land witnesses, no one breaks. We walked back to our wickiup, our wickiup now. First time since the trap I felt anything but hollow. She stood in the center of the space, firelight catching her body. Reached up, unfastened her dress, let it slip from her shoulders. "I don't know how to do this," she said quietly, "with someone who isn't." I knelt, we were eye level. "Then we'll learn like everything else." I kissed her shoulder, felt her shiver, ran my hand down her arm, felt the strength. She was breathing faster, eyes wide. Thought I was dead inside, thought there was nothing left but her. I kissed her neck. "You make me remember." Her hands found my face, pulled me to her eyes. "Promise me something, anything. Don't leave, no matter what." I kissed her, really kissed her. She melted against me, arms around my neck. Heat rising between us, nothing to do with the fire. We sank onto sleeping furs, body fitting like it was always meant to be there. What came after belongs to us alone. Morning came soft through wickiup walls. I woke to cornbread cooking. Kiona, already moving quietly, saw me watching. Didn't smile, but something changed in her eyes. The wall was gone. "You talk in your sleep," she said. "What did I say?" "Nothing bad, just my name."
"She brought me food."
"That's new for you." "Yeah, it is." We sat in morning light, 2 people who'd survived more than most, somehow finding each other in the wreckage. Outside, the rancheria waking, children playing, women talking, men preparing for the day. Normal sounds, life continuing. But I knew better. Cavalry would come. Janizaros would regroup. This land doesn't forgive, doesn't forget. For the first time in 4 years, that night I didn't dream of Missouri graves. Didn't wake praying a bullet had found me. For once, I didn't feel like a dead man still walking. People ask if I regret it. Saving her, staying, trading my old life for this one. I don't know how to answer. But last night, she fell asleep in my arms. Breath warm against my chest, hand over my heart. Realized something. Ain't redemption, sure as hell ain't forgiveness. Just 2 busted up folks, too stubborn to finish dying. More than a man like me has right to. Don't care. I'm holding on till they pry it out of my cold hands. They'll come again. Soldiers, slavers, worse. This land doesn't let you rest. But now I've got something worth fighting for. Not for glory, not for country, just for the woman sleeping beside me. She stared death in the face and still picked me. Go figure. Hell, that's enough for me. That's the whole damn thing.